Okay, so exit polls, because if we were having this conversation, say Saturday evening when the exit polls came out, we would have had a very different conversation.
I think it's a very hard job to begin with. I mean, I've never understood how the pollsters translate vote share into seats. I don't think anyone has a formula, and you get a sense that it's hit and miss rather than coming towards that being a science. I was a little taken aback by some of the exit polls only because the range was so large. It just gave us a hint that maybe they were just not confident.
And when you say large range, let's give you an idea of what that looked like, because there were at least 2 exit polls that said the BJP would go above 400. There was another one said came close to 400, at least 3 saying 379 to 390. Nobody really was even talking about NDA being under 350. At the same time, none of these exit polls were actually talking about the India alliance crossing 200. So that was the range that we were talking about.
I'll give you an example from a state, Kerala, 20 seats. One of the polls showed that NDA would go between 1 to 7. Now, for a state with just 20 seats, that's a large range to give. I mean, to me, that was a clear indicator that they were not sure at all this time.
And again, because exit polls, so much gets banked on them, we saw the markets opening and doing phenomenally well on Monday. But come Tuesday, we're talking about 1,500 points lost, 2,000 points lost, 4,000 points. We're just talking about how much the Nifty and Sensex have dropped.
Not very surprising again. If you go back to 2004, there was a sharp fall because I think most exit polls at that time predicted that NDA would be back.
Now, this is the India Shining
Shining moment. Now, it's not that bad this time because I think most people expect the BJP to be back in power in a few days. But I would also not take the market falling very seriously. I would not be surprised later in the week if it bounces back and people, give it whatever post facto we give reasons like profit booking or whatever reasons. I don't think the market fall is going to really sustain. It'll probably go back to what it was because eventually it just comes down to demand and supply on a given day.
One of the pollsters, we also saw him cry on TV. Somebody who has had a pretty good track record when it comes to getting exit polls right. And we're talking about Access My India. And he talked about getting 3 states totally off: Uttar Pradesh, Maharashtra, and West Bengal. Now, if you just look at the seats, Uttar Pradesh 80, Maharashtra 48, Bengal 42. So you're looking at those kind of numbers where such a large number of your final tally comes from these states.
True, and I think that's, to me, that was the most surprising part of the election because one didn't expect the BJP to do so badly in all 3 states. Maybe you could say Maharashtra, there was that element of doubt. Even there, most people expected BJP to more or less hold on to its tally of the last time, and one of the Shiv Sena and CP Ajit Pawar to probably lose a few seats. And it's very surprising. Again, around 6:30, I think Congress was leading in more seats than any other party in Maharashtra, and I don't think anyone anticipated that.
And West Bengal?
West Bengal, while the polls suggested something, there were a lot of people who were reporting on the ground who suggested that the polls had got it wrong and that TMC would maybe not do as well as they've actually done, but they would do far better than what most exit polls had forecast.